Good afternoon, folks! It's been a while since my last video. I regret this radio silence, but after teaching and lifting almost every day while scrambling to complete courses for additional teaching qualifications, I have not had much flexibility to write or to develop content. I've been reflecting upon what to do with this YouTube channel, especially in the wake of the University of Toronto Graduate Student Union's cease and desist orders against my blog and this YouTube channel. I knew that the folks implicated by the UTGSU videos would not press their legal threats because they had nothing to stand on. To boot, I have decided to preserve those videos on this platform, if only to serve as permanent evidence as to why some of these folks should never hold public office ever again. If they can practice the judgments documented in those videos, when the stakes are relatively low, who knows the damage that they could cause when their actions have substantial and protracted consequences for the public beyond the University of Toronto. Not all threats to the public end up in prison. And yes, I did drop out of my PhD program at U of T without defending my thesis. The details of that momentous decision are documented in my blog, and I'm not going to review them now. Rather, I created this video to discuss the future of this channel and of my next big project. About a month ago, while editing my doctoral dissertation for journal publication, I found inspiration for the way forward. Since February, I have been working variously to publish my research. Although a journal-length manuscript is basically ready for editorial review, during my last few writing sessions, I found myself candidly interrogating what I was trying to accomplish through journal publication. My original plan was to publish a significant portion of my dissertation under pseudonym in Curriculum Inquiry, my old department's in-house journal. As cathartic as that could have been, I'm mature and socially responsible enough to recognize the infantility and vindictiveness of such an endeavor. Likewise, when the institutional recognition of my doctorate became more a recognition of my cowardice and complicity in an ideological game than a recognition of the rigor and significance of my contribution to a knowledge project, I realized that I needed to do what I promised to do from the beginning of my master's: support actual educators directly in brick-and-mortar K-12 schools. And so I have, to the best of my ability. This past year, I have transitioned into teaching 7 days a week across public and private. But I already feel as though I have become too comfortable with teaching high school. As I've written in the past and still firmly believe, comfort is the enemy of progress. In keeping with my commitments, I now know what I need to do with this research. I have already repudiated the Academy, especially its faculties of education. I maintained one foot in the classroom throughout my PhD studies to stay relevant and sensitive to actual educators working in actual public schools. In my experience, most of K-12 educators don't read such scholarship unless they are compelled to do so as part of a qualification or mandatory professional development. Hence, I'm going to publish my research and modified curriculum as a series of YouTube videos as free resources for educators. My private school has already fully incorporated this curriculum in its senior English courses. Currently, I'm teaching the same resources and concepts for the fourth time to one of our senior academic writing cohorts. I made genuine promises to my consenting research participants and to their parents and guardians. I'm still following my approved ethics protocol with or without U of T. This form of dissemination makes much more sense to me, ethically and pragmatically, than wasting my time stroking my ego with another journal article. As a resource for educators, I will be in full teacher mode in these upcoming videos. No more ranting about U of T's graduate student government. I promise. I've already conducted a bunch of brainstorming as to the timeline and content of the series. This is the rough release schedule. In brief, the video release order follows the actual composition of my dissertation. Since this series is intended to serve as a resource for intermediate senior educators, I'll be keeping the edu-jargon to a minimum and avoid waxing lyrical about the socio-psychological developmental potential of axiological dialogic inquiry. I am genuinely excited to finally get this out to the public on my own terms, and to do justice to all of the promises that I've made to folks over the years in relation to this research. This project was always my first priority, going back to the earliest days of my social justice and peace studies program at King's, that of fostering pacifistic competencies through education, although I didn't know to call it that at the time. It may take me more than a year to get everything out given my insane work schedule, but I'm determined to see this through. I am certain that this is the best way forward, and I am happy to receive feedback from the community. Thank you for your time, and I'll try to get the first video out in the next couple of months. Till next time.